Okay, so I really wanted to have Camille just share with us some things. I honestly don't even really know what she's going to share, but I'm sure it's going to be um, amazing because Camille has been a coach for like just over a year, like I don't know, maybe 14, 15 months or something. And she came into this business and just like immediately took off running. She hit diamond within, I don't know, I should have looked this stuff up, but like 3 or 4 months at the most, she hit diamond. Every month she has hit like Success Club 10 plus, like I'm talking into the 20s, 30s, sometimes 40s. She has recruited coaches to her team every single month, but she's also recruited builders, like not just discount coaches, but business builders every single month. And her team is just like thriving. Her team is growing by the day. And she's really bringing in her people. Like, I mean, I look at her team and they're just little Camille's. Like everybody has so much in common, and she's really like found her niche and her tribe, so to speak. So she's obviously doing something that is working really, really well. And she's also, a busy mom to under two or however old they are now. They're little. And if you watch her Insta stories, I mean, she's always with them. They're always there, but she's making this business work somehow. She is, like I said, she's a diamond coach, but she is like, she's got 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, like in her reach. It's going to be very quick. And I think it's just going to be boom, boom, boom for her. So she's got some big end of year goals. Um, she's building her husband's account. He's very, very close to diamond. And she's got a couple coaches who are also really pushing for some big goals. So anyways, I'm going to turn it over to Camille so that she can just share how she does this. And and I think it's even important to note that like Camille and I did not know each other. I am in Ontario in Canada. Camille is in Texas. And literally, she was like someone I found on Facebook and just like requested and sent a message to. And that is how it all unfolded. And within like a week or even less than that, she had joined our team. So you don't even know who you're going to be meeting every day when you wake up and who is going to become like your top leader on your team. Like that could happen tonight, that could happen tomorrow morning. You just never know. So you just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other and doing the work, and the magic will unfold. So Camille, I'm going to hand it over to you.
All right. Hey guys. Um, so before I dive into all my notes and everything I prepared, I just want to say that everything I give you tonight, just know that I'm giving from a place of just wanting to share what I'm doing, because I know a lot of you, your life might look very different from mine. So I am a stay-at-home mom. I used to work as a nurse, but I stay home now, and I also have sort of a different dynamic going on than Megan because my husband is like super involved with my kids. He like does a lot around my house. So I'm going to just be really realistic with you guys and really open about exactly what I do. And I also know that there's a few coaches on here that you may be brand new, and just know that all of these systems that I go through took me a year to sort of like perfect. And I am here to run with the business. And that doesn't mean that you have to do that too. So I don't want you to leave this call and feel like, oh my gosh, I don't do that, or I need to do this, I'm not doing enough, or I just got started with coaching and I haven't even, worked on my own transformation yet. Just use it as sort of a source to come back to, if you are wanting to run with this. And so yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that because I know there's some new coaches on here, and I don't want calls like this to overwhelm you, because it is very easy to listen to a call with a lot of information and feel like you need to just start doing all of it. But it really is about just taking what you learn and just sort of implementing those small steps, which will lead to like big change within your business. So, um, I don't know how to mute everybody. If you're not muted, just mute yourself if you can, because I'm like a squirrel. I will get very distracted. Okay, so I was listening, and if I turn this way, it's because my notes are over here. I listened to a call the other day on the Beachbody Champions page, and it was one. It was from Emily Favre, which is one of the really successful coaches that did 80 Day Obsession. And she said, if you kind of sort of do something, then you kind of sort of get results. And that just like really stuck with me because it's so true. If you think about like going to the gym, there's people who walk around that gym and they'll pick up some weights, or maybe they'll get on the treadmill for 20 minutes. They don't have a solid system in place. So it really does come down to, with your health and fitness and with your business, having these like systems in place for each important thing. And that's sort of what I've done. Efficiency is everything to me, because I do want to spend a lot of time like with my kids at home. And, if you're a working mom, then you have a job you have to get to. So learning how to really streamline those business activities and get through them efficiently has been really key for me. So you want to figure out, what those systems look like and what that structure is. And that's essentially, those business building activities that we always talk about, that are not only efficient but also effective, because you can work all day long, but you might not be really making any progress with your business if it's not, if they don't have like value to them. So let's see. Don't compare yourself. My schedule is going to look different than yours. Okay, before I kind of go into what my daily routine looks like, I just want to talk about your why for a second, because that for me, like going into this business, I had a couple of things going on in my head. Number one, I am that type of person that when I do something, I have to do it 100%. I don't know how to halfway do it. If I was going to halfway do coaching, then I probably wouldn't be coaching right now. I would have still been waiting for that place. I just have to sort of like go all in. I've been like that my whole life. I've been like the straight A student, like that annoying girl in school that like tries to like make 100 on the test. Like that was me. So that's definitely plays a part into my why, is just wanting to be good at what I do and helping other people along the way. My income is also a pretty good why for me. My husband and I struggle with, we've had some big scary things happen this summer financially that have really driven me to keep working harder in this business. And also Summit was such a game changer for me. Like I've always been all in with coaching, but after going to Summit and seeing these normal moms, normal women making like millions of dollars doing Beachbody and changing all these lives, it was like, okay, I can do this too. And this team has the ability to do that. We have the resources. We have the leaders on this team that can help us get there. But you really want to be in touch with why you're doing this. Like, are you a runner or are you just doing this as a hobby? Whatever it is, like own it and be okay with that. Don't feel like you have to be like super successful if that's not what this is for you. If this is meant to just be like a fun hobby on the side, but really think about what it is and be able to visualize that. So for me, there's certain things that my husband are saving for. Like we want to take our kids to Disney World. We want to save for a down payment on our next home. So like, I don't have an office or anywhere to put a visual like board. I would have to put it like in my kitchen, but I have that in my head. Like I know that I want to take my kids to Disney. Let's see. Oh, I run my business sort of like Sunday through Friday morning. That's sort of like what I do. Sunday afternoons through Friday morning. And what that means is I am Sunday nights, I am usually preparing I have a call to action post. I have a really like solid post for Sunday night. And I usually am loading my stories from the weekend. So I'm not on my phone like Friday night and Saturday. I'm not just like doing stories that whole time. Because for me, that's really important that I have that separation. And I'll kind of go through what I do on the weekend later, but I just wanted to just say that that's sort of like my hours, my business hours for myself. Okay. So, always be thinking about what you need to be working on. So, is that your social media presence? Like, are your pictures good? Do you need to work on that? Or, is it your confidence? Do you need to be diving more into personal development? I'm always thinking about what area I need work on. Right now, I'm trying to solidify like a filter that looks right on my Instagram that doesn't make me look like weird. And I'm having a really hard time with that. But that's what I did last weekend. I literally like worked on my like filters all weekend and try to figure that out. But now I just want to talk about my daily actions. And I really do follow sort of like Megan's routine. That's what I call it. It's like Megan's plan. And if you haven't watched her call in the Abundance Station group that she did about that, I highly suggest it because I have started implementing those actions into my routine for the past few weeks now and have seen I've been a lot more productive and I've been a lot more efficient in my day. So the very first thing I do, so I have a notepad that I have had since I started coaching, and because I have to have it where I can see it. It doesn't need to be a notebook that like has a cover. Like I need to be able to see my list at all times. And there's Sunday through Saturday on here. And it's just a column. And I just write out my daily activities every single day. I do it before I go to bed at night. And I even put at the bottom plan day to make sure that I write them out for the next day. But my very first item on here is personal development. So when we talk about systems, what is your system for personal development? Like, don't just say, okay, in the morning, I'm going to do personal development. Well, what does that mean? Like, are you going to listen to a podcast? What podcast is it? Do you have it already planned out? Are you reading a book? Do you need to get on Amazon and order a new one? Like always have something so that you're not having to think about what you're going to actually do. I keep my little notepad and my book and my computer on my coffee table so that in the mornings when I get up, it's like all right there for me. I don't have to waste any time doing that at all. But I do personal development first. Depending on how much time I have, that ranges anywhere from like 10 to 30 minutes. And right now I'm rereading You're a Badass. And then I'll also do a daily devotional, Jesus Calling. The second thing I do, which I probably shouldn't do, but I just know myself too well, is I check my downline and I get on sorry, I've got to fix this piece of hair. It's driving me nuts. I get on my Coach Online Office. And when I say like check your downline, there are so many things that you can be looking at on there that are super important. And just within like not even 5 minutes, I can glance on my like Coach office. And these are the things I'm looking at. First, I'm making sure that I'm obviously like active. My husband's account is active. And I just kind of scroll through and I look at how many coaches I have. Like, am I still holding my diamond status? Is my husband still an emerald? Like, are my emeralds all still emeralds? That sort of thing. And then, I'm checking out Success Club points and that sort of thing. And then I'm also sort of thinking in my head, like strategizing. Oh, okay. So I have this many people that I could maybe ask about the discount coaching opportunity, or, oh, I wonder if this girl has ever thought about like coaching. And I'm just sort of like always looking at that. And then I'll go back later in the day and get a piece of paper out and like write down names and sort of, if I'm trying to get my husband to 1 star, not 1 star, diamond. I'm trying to get myself to 1 star. I will look at his downline and say, okay, I have 2 more coaches I need to get him to diamond. How can I make that happen? So just being intentional, checking that, getting into the habit of checking your back office every single day. And then the next thing I do is my frog. Like, this is my frog. It's my likes / my comments / my polls / my stories. And what that means is, first I look at who liked my post from the night before. And I am running my business about 99% off of Instagram right now. I am not, like, I still, oh, my alarm is going off to post for tonight. Hold on. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm setting an alarm for 8, so I can I just have to copy and paste my post into Instagram. Okay, so I'm running my business on Instagram. Not really, I'm still copying and pasting my posts onto my like page, but I'm not getting really any action over there, and I'm not really wasting my time trying to make that work, because I'm all about what's working for you, keep doing it. Like, you are going to find so many coaches doing other things that work for them. Don't just stop what you're doing if it's working for you. I've really had to like remember that. So I'm sending a message to the people who like my post. If it is someone who I've never connected with, it's a cold market person that's liked my post and we've never talked before, then I will send her a message. I'm just going to pull up my phone because I keep my notes. I have a folder called Mama in Training, which is my like little name. And I keep my messages in there that I send to people. So, okay. So last night I did a transformation of myself. And so my message to cold market people was, hey girl, just wanted to say thanks so much for the love on my post yesterday. Honestly, oh, sorry, I'm reading y'all the wrong one. Sorry. Okay. Hey girl, just wanted to say thanks so much for the love on my transformation post last night. Those pics aren't always the easiest to share, so I really appreciate the support. So that doesn't have a question. I will sometimes throw a question in there, but I'm finding with people who don't know me in cold market, I just want to like initially connect with them. And if they write me back or if they put a heart, then I'm probably going to put them into my follow-up system, which I'll talk about later, to remind me to go and engage with them somehow, whether it's going and liking their pictures or watching their stories or something like that. And just kind of watching like if they like another post to be able to invite them. So that's for a cold market person. I thought about like, I could do this in a little bit, but because I might just kind of go through everything, but I thought about going into my Instagram and writing some people back and showing you like how I do that. I don't know if that would be helpful. I know that's one of the harder things. It's just like knowing what to say to people. But, and I usually have to ask Megan for help with that too. Like, she's really good with her words. And honestly, I get a lot of my like messages from her and then I tweak them to fit like the ones she's shared with all of us. I will tweak that to fit, you know, me. And really just like wanting to start a conversation, just having a natural flow conversation and not pressuring them into anything at all. And then I have my comments. So I'm just going to go through my pictures, see who commented, comment back. And then I go into my polls. So if I did a poll, I don't always do polls on my stories, but if I did do one last night. So I go in and I look to see who was there. And the message I send to those people is, let's see. So here's one. I just will say, okay. Hey, so-and-so, thanks so much for showing some love on my stories. Maybe you were just responding to my poll for support, but I wanted to reach out just in case you were interested in learning more about the workouts I do from home. Is this something you've ever thought about trying? Or something like that. I change it up every now and then depending on what the poll was about, but that's what I do there. And then, and y'all, I will have like people, like no one respond to polls. Like, it happens to me all the time. And then some days, like, I get a bunch. It's so hit or miss, but you just have to keep trying things. And then stories. So that's when I'm going to go through, and I have a number of 15. Like sometimes I'll do more, but I usually try to message 15 people, new people who have watched my stories. And I'm pretty sure I got this little message from Megan, but I'm just going to read it out loud to y'all. Hey, Emily, I just wanted to send a quick message and thank you for watching my crazy stories. I can't thank you enough for loving and supporting me on my journey, even if it's just watching from afar. Seriously, thanks so much. Simple. Bust out 15 of those super quick. And all of these things, like, depending on, like, today took me a long time because my post got a lot of likes, and so that took me longer. But normally I could message the likers, do the comments, do the polls, do the stories, like bam, 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 get it all. Like if you have it all where you can just copy and paste, you just knock that out. Let's see. Okay, this has been a big thing for me. So on Instagram, I do not have anything that I can copy and paste to send to someone about a challenge pack. Like, it would probably be helpful if I did. I have a conversation with them, and then I will get them over to Facebook, or I will get them on the phone. I've had pretty good success with that. Yes, it can be time consuming, but I have learned that it's sometimes worth it for me for them to hear my voice and to be able to explain exactly how I'm helping them. And so a lot of the times I will bring someone over. I have, I think I'm gonna, can I do a screen share, Megan? Okay. I just want to show y'all, because I just signed someone up today that I brought over from Instagram. And I just feel like sometimes this is like helpful for y'all to get a visual. Let's see. Okay, let me get into Flume.
If you guys don't know about Flume yet, it's like a lifesaver. So this is Instagram that you can access
Yes.
on your computer, like your inbox. You can access it so you can actually type. It's wonderful.
Is that like an app, or is it a, like, how do you
You just Google it and download it.
Okay.
It's only for Apple.
Oh. Okay.
What?
It's only for Apple computers. Okay, can y'all hear me? I guess you can. Okay, so I got kind of lucky with this girl because I had done a call to action on my story. And it was basically like I did my workout video, like shared my workout video, and then I did like a call to action for the flash sale that we just had. And so she said details. And so then I sent her this message and she didn't end up joining. And I am huge on follow-ups. Like, follow-ups have been so big for me. I don't know, like, I'll kind of go into that in like my tracking system, but she did not go into this group. So then so this was August 24th. So then on the 31st, she responded to another poll. She responded to a poll on my story. So I sent her this message, and it was about coaching. So I was a little confused because she said, I just recently considered it and went to my friend Emily for a workout class. She told me she follows you too. So this was somebody, like, I don't know who Emily is, but apparently it's someone who follows me, told her about what I do. And at first I thought she was interested in coaching, but come to find out she was more interested in like the workouts. So I said, oh, how funny. That's awesome. Do you mind if I ask what sparked your interest? Just that I need to get back to a routine. That's awesome. What do you think has kept you from reaching your goals or getting back into a good routine? So I'm not just like I'm having that flow, like I'm having that normal conversation. So then she didn't write me back. So on September 6th, I said, this was my invite. So this is where she was in my tracking system. Her name popped up and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to invite her for my fall challenge group. So I said, hey, Natalie, I'm opening spots in my exclusive group for September and wanted to invite you. Are you still interested in learning more about the workout nutrition program I follow? Yeah, I think so. Oh, awesome. Do you happen to have a Facebook account? Sometimes I find it easier to chat there or with a phone call. Either way works for me. Yes, I do. Okay, perfect. So I tried to find you and was having trouble. Do you mind friending me? So then she friended me. So it's kind of like a process, and this doesn't always work out, but once I got her over there, I was able to send her voice messages. So then I sent her, like, we friended each other, and then let's see. And in case y'all didn't know, like, one huge thing for me is being able to mark my messages as unread. So I don't know if y'all can, if you know that, but like, let's say I wanted to remember to write Megan back, then I would just do mark unread. And you can do that on Instagram now too. So if you didn't know that, like, that has been a game changer for me. So let me pull up Natalie. And I'm not going to take y'all through this or anything, but hey, Natalie, thanks for chatting over here. I find that using voice messages really helped to explain things better. So tell me, are you already a bit familiar with Beachbody programs? Because I had no idea. I was like, I don't know if this Emily girl like told her about Beachbody. I don't know. And then she said she wasn't. And so then what I ended up doing is I'll just send like my people like I sent like 2 messages here, and I just kind of give them a background. I just say, you know, hey, Natalie, so let me just tell you a little bit about me. I got started with Beachbody programs after I had my first baby. I was really just looking for a way to work out at home. Got great results from a program, and it really just inspired me to start helping other women, specifically moms like you, get back in shape at home. I'd love to tell you more about it or whatever. So then like I just kind of give them like a little background information, and then I'll just kind of break down like in voice messages. I'll talk about the workouts, and then I go into nutrition. I talk about Shakeology, and then I talk about my accountability group, and I just give them like this little like spiel of like what a challenge pack is. And then I say, you know, let me know when you've had a chance to take a listen to this, or when is a good day to follow up. I have a short little video clip if you want to check that out too. And then I'll send them like a little short video from BB Links of our basic challenge pack. And then I usually tell them like if they're interested, I'll talk about upgrading to the 80-day obsession challenge pack, because it's the better deal with getting the bands and sliders. And so that's like what I do. It takes me a longer time, but I've learned that the more quality conversations you have with people, the more sales you're going to make. Because if you're just like sending these copy and paste messages to people and you're not hearing back from them, it's a whole lot more worth it to get them on the phone or get them over to somewhere where they can talk. There are a lot of people that don't have Facebook. So I will set like I think Hannah, one of my coaches on the call, I think we had a phone call, I think, set up. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that was what we did. Let's see. Okay, let me go back to, where's the question? Oh, that's exactly it. Okay, awesome. Let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, and then follow-up. So I use my follow-up system for a lot of different things. So I'm following up with people that I've talked to that might be interested. I'm following up with my challengers. I'm following up with my my coaches. So I've always, ever since I started coaching, I've had a system that I've paid for. I was talking to so many people in the beginning that I couldn't keep track of it all. And I don't like having to think. So this removes all thinking, which is like what I need in my life, is just to not have to think about anything else. And so I started with Team Z, and then I switched over to the social team builder tracker. And honestly, I haven't seen like a huge benefit from that versus Team Z, just because I'm not really like running my like page, and it's more helpful for that. Like Megan could go into that, but it's been worth it to me to spend that money. And I'll just give, I'm just going to go back to share screen real quick, because I just want to show you guys, because I know there's some new coaches on here. So this is how I track. So I have all my contacts in here. Oh. Okay. So I look at it from this screen. So what I like about this is I go here and I can say today's follow-ups, and it's going to show tomorrow's, because for some reason it's like ahead of time. I don't know what I did, but it's going to show tomorrow's. So I have 58, which is a lot. I normally do not have that many follow-ups. And then I'll go into here and I can separate it between clients and leads. So I always do my leads first. So remember, when I'm doing my little daily stuff, I'm doing my personal development, checking my downline, doing my likes, comments, polls, stories, and then I'm doing my follow-ups, because this like weighs over me if I don't get it done. But I'll do my leads first so that I don't get distracted by all the other messages. Because at this point, I still have not touched my inboxes. Like at all. Like I have not written anyone back for the day. So this is a lot less intimidating, 23. So I have 23 people in here that I need to either send a message, or I need to go to their Instagram and like a picture or comment or something, do some sort of engagement. And then when I want to do my clients, then they'll show up and I can follow up with them. And then I could break it down into team as well. So I just like having a little system here. And then let's say I follow up with Alyssa, then I would just go in here, and so she's a customer of mine, she's in my challenge group, and she's newer to my challenge group. So I'll do like a week follow up. So I'll just put a week in here. If it's someone interested in my accountability group that seems really interested, then I will usually put them in for 4 days. And in 4 days, I'll go and like or comment on something, but I'm not going to actually message them back to see, like, I'm not going to touch base with them through a message for another week. So I'll put a week in there. If someone's pregnant and I'm talking to them, then I'm probably going to put them in for like a 2-week follow-up, and I'm going to go like something or comment to keep in touch with them. And I've done that for over a year now, and there are people who I was talking with last fall that were pregnant and have now had their babies, and now they're like, Hannah, you're one of them. Like, I knew you were pregnant. Like, it's so creepy, but like, I knew you were pregnant and you reached out to me. Like, she reached out to me because I had been connecting with her. She had been seeing my stuff, and like, that's how it works. I just want to see if there's, yeah, I spend about $30 a month on that. Yeah, on the tracker system. And that was about, I think I paid like $29.95 or something for Team Z when I had that.
Hey, Camille.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference is, like between the $30 one and the one I just got was only $5. Like, I think it didn't come with maybe like something that connected to Facebook, but like none of my business really is on Facebook, so I just did the $5 one. But I don't know, like, I mean, it's worked just the same for me. So
okay,
I don't know what all else it doesn't include, but it's been fine. So yeah, there's a $5 option.
I think that would be all you need. Like, I pay more, but for my connection builder, it's like synced to my like page. So because I do like still 90% of my business on my like page on Facebook. And so it's synced right to my inbox in my like page. And I can look at all my posts right in my connection builder, and I can have auto responders, like they'll automatically comment. So like when I have a post that just goes like crazy with 200 comments on it, it will automatically comment for me, and it will automatically message them as well. But you don't need that unless you are really running your business from Facebook. So probably the $5 option, I know there is that with my connection builder. So that might be
Sweet.
an option.
So I think for me, like I was holding on to my connection builder and spending the 30 because I kept thinking they were going to like link Instagram.
And they could, like, I know that that's what it's probably really difficult for them to do, but I think that I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up happening, that it's synced to Instagram as well, which would be amazing.
Yeah. So I'll probably stop paying the $30 and go to the $5 thing, because I didn't know that. Because I'm not utilizing it the way that it could be used like Megan is. Okay. The next important thing is obviously adding to your network. I started my business with a pretty big warm market, but I can't stress how important it is to keep your market growing, keep those people. Well, y'all know what I'm trying to say. So you have to have new people seeing your stuff. I'm using Captivate right now, which is an app. And if you're a new coach on here, reach out to your coach and they will tell you how to learn about Captivate. But that is what I'm using right now. If you are finding the right targets, it should not take very long. It was taking me forever in the beginning because I was picking pages that were too big, and I was running into like a lot of people that had businesses. And the way that I have been connecting with my people, so let me back up. Some of my newer coaches, I'm just going to kind of tell you like how this has worked for me. So, Logan, for example, my sister started 80-Day Obsession and did a story of herself doing the program, and Logan follows her. Logan and my sister are the same age. And so she saw that and sent my sister a message. So my sister's like advertising for me, which is awesome. And then I have a coach named Nikki, and Nikki, her best friend is a challenger of mine. So my challengers have helped me find coaches. So like if there's people that don't necessarily want to coach that are a challenger of yours, well, maybe they know someone that wants to coach. Maybe they know somebody that like loves fitness and like, or needs a hobby or wants something to do, on the side. And then Hannah, she went to school with my husband. So we had, like, she was from mutual friends that I added on Facebook like a long time ago. So my coaches are really like people from my warm market, but like lukewarm market, like not people I knew, but people that know people. And I try to really stay within that. So that's how I play up Captivate. So right now I'm finding a lot of my people from, like, let's say it's a girl I went to college with and she has a business. There's a girl that has like a business where she puts together these like kits for kids to play with, like Play-Doh. She like makes homemade Play-Doh. Well, she's done really well for herself. She has like 10,000 followers. So she is somebody that I know has followers that are my people because we went to the same college together. We have a lot of mutual friends. And so tapping into people who have other businesses, not necessarily multi-level marketing, but things that you like, so for me, like monogrammed clothing, like my girls are always dressed in like cute monogrammed clothing. Well, I know a lot of people that do monogramming, including my sister. So my sister's got people that I can go follow. So it's just like thinking about people that you know and how you can reach their mutual friends, because those are going to be the people that you can relate to. For me, searching on Captivate, I've started typing in like words that I can relate to, or like trigger words. So like the word pregnant. Like if you type in pregnant to Captivate, you're probably going to find a ton of pages that are like pregnant mama something, or and that can get to where you can run into other multi-level marketing people because they're probably thinking pregnant also. But like the word magnolia. So I live in Texas. Fixer Upper and like Joanna Gaines, like all of that is in Waco, which is close to where I live. Magnolia is like a word that's being used a lot lately. So I'll like type in magnolia and like see what comes up there, or like vintage girl baby names. My daughters are Millie and Vivian. So I might search like Millie and see what comes up. Like you just have to start searching like things that you like or things that you start seeing more of, because trendy, like usually trendy words are going to be like trendy pages. I'm adding anywhere from 150 to 300 people a day. And this is only taking me like 10 minutes. So if it's taking you longer than 10 minutes, then don't add 300 people. Like I tried to get my husband to add people for me one night, and I think he added like 50 people in like an hour and a half or something. I was like, what are you doing? Like, I was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. This is like not working. So I'm adding people every day but Saturday. Hold on, there's a question. On Captivate, do you request to follow people with a private account? When I'm requesting to follow people, I don't even know if their account is private or not, because I'm just clicking on their picture. And I'm really looking at, if it's a picture of a girl by herself, I'm probably not going to select her. I'm really looking for like wedding pictures, and because people get married and then they have babies, and my person is like a 28 to 30-year-old girl who just had a baby that has good style and like has a pretty like Instagram picture. Cause that was me. Like my Instagram picture was me and my husband like in my wedding dress, a black and white picture. So I'm adding that many people every day, except for Saturday is when I'm running cleaner. The reason why I add people all weekend is because I want people to see every side of me. I don't want them always seeing a call to action or always seeing like me talk about coaching. I want them to see the funny stuff. I want them to see my kids, my life, because different people like different things. And so I really want them, I'll add people on Friday, and then I won't add anyone else until Sunday because I want cleaner to work on Saturday, if that makes sense. But really think about who your people are. Like that is so important. For me, like I'm always searching bows, like, and for some reason, like girly clothing and bows have been like my people. Like that's like all I do is like look up like cute Instagram shops and like cute swaddles for babies. Yes, private. Oh, Captivate's not available for Android. I didn't realize that. Okay, in that case, like if you don't have Captivate, that's where I would go and try to find like people that have a lot of friends that you are friends with, or like people that you like, and going and like following their people, or going in and seeing who they follow, like different, and just like watch the rate that you add maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say too, like you can do the same thing without using Captivate. So find the same pages, the same people on Instagram, and just manually follow them. So the great thing about Captivate is that you can do large numbers. So you could follow like 300 people in 5 minutes, but Captivate is going to slowly do that so that you don't like get your account shut down. So you could just do smaller numbers, like maybe follow like 20 people every day, or like 20 in the morning and maybe like 10 later on, or something like that. I mean, that's still, as long as they're like quality people, the the return on that is going to be worth it. You won't be able to do the big numbers, unfortunately, but you can still do the exact same.
Well, you can engage more, like what Darlene was talking about. So that's where I'm having issues. I'm following 300 people, but how do I go and engage with those people? So for you, like you could pick a smaller amount, but when you're friending them, like you can actually go in and comment and like and do all of that. I don't do what a lot of the top coaches have said. Like I don't, like some people say like the 3-3-5 rule or something. Like I would never go and like 3 pictures and like comment on 2 or whatever and like look like a stalker, because I just think that's kind of stalkerish. Like I'll just kind of like or comment on a couple and I move on. But that's just me. I do what I would want to be done to me, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to send a creepy message to somebody because I wouldn't respond to a creepy message. Okay. And then the next thing I do is my important messages. So at this point, like up until this point in my day, I have not messaged anybody back. So this is when I go and I have to put the blinders on. I'm like, okay, I really want to like message Megan, but no, I can't message Megan. I have to go message this person that is interested in my accountability group. So I'll like go and return the messages from the night before that were the important ones. And I don't touch any others. And then I have on the next thing on my list is Insta story. And this is where I just force myself to take a second and be like, okay, what have I done today that I can share? Oh, wait, I like have my personal development book right here. Let me take a picture of that. Oh, here's my breakfast. Okay, there's that. Oh, here's my cup of coffee. Here's that. Oh, my kids are doing something funny. Here's that. And I don't load them like in real time. I just like get them on my phone. And when I have a few minutes later in the day, then I'll start to load them. And then there's some days where I wait until it's nighttime to do it. But at least I have like some content. But it's just that trigger note. Okay, make sure you Insta story something today. Because you know how it is. Like you can go through your whole day and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't even shared anything. And then I have social media posts. And that's just my reminder to make sure that I post one solid post that day. And I last weekend did something for the first time that was actually really, really helpful for me, because I struggle writing my posts and it taking forever. And I started using the app Plan, Plann. And basically you can go in and you can visualize like what your pictures are going to look like and like what your Instagram feed will look like. Oh shoot, I didn't post tonight, y'all. I just completely forgot. I'd set the alarm. Let me copy and paste my post. I wish I could share my phone screen because that's literally what I'm going to do. So my app Plan has, you can't see, but I can literally copy, just press copy post, and I already have my picture, already have my words, and it takes me right into Instagram. And like, that's all I have to do. Sorry. I just need to. It's 8:15 here. That's why I'm having to do this for all you East Coast people. Okay. So I use Plan. And I, this weekend, I have another little like cheapy notepad. It just says Monday through weekend. And I just like sit down on the weekend and I just write out like some ideas of what my posts are going to be. And then I try to write like 2 or 3, just so that I have them already done and I'm not like stressing about it. And I follow the same like posting schedule that Megan does. So if you don't know what that is, you need to listen to that call because it really is helpful. But that's what I did. I wrote a few and I already had my pictures and I had it in my Plan app. And so this week I've been able to like not stress about my nightly post, and I'll just worry more about my stories and like getting all my vitals done during the day. lost my little point here. For me, like, quality of your posts has been really, like, that's huge. Like, if you go and read my posts, like, I'm super vulnerable. I'm super, like, you want someone to be able to scroll your Instagram or your Facebook and get an idea of who you are. They should know, like, the big things about you, and know, like, whether you have kids or not, or what your hobbies are, what you enjoy, what do you shop for, like, what do you buy, like, are you talking about coaching? Like, how are you sharing that? Like, you need a well-rounded social media feed, and your pictures need to be good. I'm not going to get into that tonight because we've had so many calls on that, but it really is about having, like, quality content and a reason. You want to give people a reason to follow you. If you aren't providing a reason for them to follow you back, then you're not going to be able to grow your network. So if you feel like you're really slacking with your posts and your pictures, work on that before you worry too much about, like, Captivate, because, like, there's no point. Like, you need to work on you first. And then let's see. The next thing is workout. So I work out during the day. If you feel like you're using your morning to work out because you don't like if that is when you need to be doing your business, do your business. If you can work out later in the day with your kids crawling all over you, do that. Or if you need to work out at night because you work during the day, you need to do your business activities in the morning, do that. Like, I have always put my business, like, those activities have always needed to come, like, during the quiet time that my house, like, when my house is quiet and I can actually focus. But are you committed to a workout program? Like, I know it's so simple, but, like, we are health and fitness coaches. Our body is our business. I tell them it'll be the weekend and I'll be eating ice cream and I'll be like, my body is my business. My body is my business, because it is, like, it really is. And that doesn't mean that you don't have fun, but if you do not have a transformation to share, no one is going to ever buy anything from you. There's not. Like, if you don't look like you're healthy, they're not going to buy something from you. They're not going to spend $160 or $180 if they don't feel like you're, what is it? Something that you preach. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Practice what you preach. You have to practice what you preach. And then the next thing that I do during the day, and this is like afternoon, check in with my challenge group. I don't even go into my challenge group until I've done everything else. And I will go in and I will comment on everything from the day before. And I will post my little workout selfie that I did my workout. And that's it, because all my posts are scheduled on the weekend. On Sunday, I schedule all my challenge group posts already. Then I check the team pages. If you're on this team and on this call tonight, you should be checking the team pages, because we are all team players and we all need to be involved. And when we can come together, we're stronger together. So check the team pages. I check our Abundance Nation page, I check Fitnique Nation, and I check Team Rise Up, because I want to be like a well-rounded coach. I want to know what's going on. I want to be able to cheer other people on and see, what's going on there and shout out people and that sort of thing. So I try to make a point every day to check the team pages so I don't miss something important. And then my other activities are just clear my inbox. That never happens. Like, y'all should see my inbox tonight. Load my stories. So if I haven't loaded my stories, I'll make sure and do that. And then I even write down to check my text and my emails, because I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I'm so good about my Facebook and Instagram. And then my phone, I will have text from a week ago that I have to go back and text friends back. It's terrible. And then the very last thing is plan my day. So I have to make sure I write that list, because if I don't, it just sets my whole day off. And then the last little bit that I have is just this little nuggets of wisdom. And sorry, we've gone so late. Or I guess we're still doing good. I'm thinking it's 11 o'clock there or something. So these are my little just truth nuggets. Expect the roller coaster. Seriously, even I know that you see big Success Club numbers out of me. Well, I can tell you that the month of August which I think I hit 36 or something. I was at 6 for like the first 2 or 3 weeks and nothing happened. And I could have just like stopped, but I just kept going because that is what this business is. You are going to have the ups and downs. You're going to have no from people. And then you're going to have yes. And it's just going to like, it's just expect it. Just know that that's how it's going to be, but don't let it stop you in your tracks. Just keep going, keep talking to people. Because it really is a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more no's you're probably going to get, but that means you're doing something right. Because if you're hearing no, that means you're talking to people. Don't count your eggs before they hatch. I've done this before. Don't get to like Success Club and then be like, I'm good. Because you know what? That last person is probably going to send their package back and then you're not going to hit Success Club. And the only month I have not hit Success Club 10 was last October because I hit 10 and I got comfortable, and then she sent her package back and I was at 8, which is still fine, but I still like it still to this day bothers me because I've hit 10 every other month. But don't count on people. Like if you have all these open enrollments out and you're like, oh, I'm good, I'm going to hit Success Club, I'm good. Well, no, like until they actually press submit and pay, they haven't committed to being in your group. So don't count your eggs. Prepare for the unexpected. So this is so big for me. My kids are always sick. I always oversleep. Like my plumbing's always messing up. Like things are always like, we can't wash our clothes right now because we have to have like the line flushed again. Like we've had so many house issues. You have to prepare for stuff to happen. And so, if you have like systems in place and your list, and you know that if something happens, you can pull out that list and you know what you're going to do first, second, third, that's what you do. So today I overslept this morning. So by 10 a.m. I still hadn't done anything. I got my list out and I just started attacking it one by one. Then the next thing is your transformation is everything. I already kind of talked about that, but that's what it's been like for me. Megan doesn't always like, I feel like she's so good about sharing quality content with people and like providing value in a different kind of way. Whereas like my posts, like I get engagement on posts where I'm like showing myself in a bikini, like every 7 to 10 days. Like I feel like I have to show that because my people like that. My people are the moms who want their body to look different and want to feel confident in a swimsuit. So that's what I post, because what you post is what you attract. Be willing to invest in your business. You have to be willing to spend money. If you want to run with this, you have to be willing to sign up your husband to get to Emerald if you can. Like I know it's a money thing and so it's a sensitive topic, but there's things I purchase all the time that I don't have money for. And I'm literally saying that as my husband walks in. But like I bought a ring light last night for like $100 because of this test group I'm going to be in. And I'm like, I've got to have a ring light. I'm going to be in a test group. I got a new computer because my computer broke while I was in Mexico and I needed a computer. So I saved for it and I got the computer. But you have to just like, whether it's ads or Shakeology or Energize, like I drink Energize, I eat the bars, because if you're buying those products and using them yourself, that's things you can share with people. I bought this to share with people. Like I bought a cute tank because I'm like, that'll make a great post. Like I know you have to be within reason, but you have to look at things from a business perspective. And then the last 2 things I have are don't recreate the wheel. So for example, I have Linktree set up on my Instagram and I haven't had a lot of action with that, just so that y'all don't freak out and feel like you need to go set one up. But I like copied and pasted from another coach. So that like forms, like things that can be reproduced, like don't make yourself crazy trying to make things that you can get from me or Megan or Michelle. Like we're all here to help each other. That doesn't mean like you copy and paste someone else's post, but when it comes to things like your challenge group and like emails that you send to new challengers and that kind of thing, just reach out and like we're willing to share that stuff. And then the last thing I have that I kind of already talked about was visualize your why. Like you need to be able to see it, like get a piece of paper out and write down your business goals. Write them down every single month. I literally have a notebook where every single month I put July, August. I'll write down what my goals are, my personal goals and my business goals. And then every New Year's Eve, my husband and I sit down, and our tradition is to write out our goals for the year. Yeah, that's all I got. I was going to see if there's any questions. Do y'all have any questions? Like, just unmute yourself and ask if you do. I hope that wasn't like too much.
No, that was awesome, Camille. I mean, I think there was a ton of info in there, and like, you know, everybody is at a different season in this business. And as a new coach, like Camille said at the beginning, like that's all that stuff probably doesn't need to be done. Like you really have to kind of start where you are at. You know, you have to keep in mind where Camille is at in her business too, and not get overwhelmed by that kind of thing. But I think like the biggest thing to take away from everything she said is like that personal touch that she gives everything. And, you know, if you follow her, like, I almost want to say don't go and follow her, because you're like, I have to like not go and look at her stuff because I am like, oh my God, that was so good. Like in her pictures, and like, I'm just immediately drawn into her, which is why she's on our team. Because when I sent that friend request, I looked at her photos and I could see her. And I was like, this is a girl that I want to be friends with. So that's what drew me to her in the beginning. But I mean, her images and her text is all just so like captivating. And it could be because we are sort of like at similar seasons. But she just brings so much quality and personal, just very personal in all of her posts. And it's not just selling. Like, she's never selling anything. It's so personal. And the fact that, you know, she's touching base with people on the phone. Like, I know she gets on the phone all the time with people, like, because I talk to her all the time. And, you know, the voice notes, and it's just, that's what takes things to the next level. And that's why she's seeing this amazing success. It's not just like a process for her and like, oh, okay, let's keep going. And like, you know, let me just send you the link. Like, she's so like, she's bringing in her story. The fact that she does a voice note to be like, well, I just wanted to let you know a little bit about me. Like that's not something that most business owners would do, right? They're just like, well, here's the information. And even I was like, gosh, I should do that a little bit more. Like, you assume everybody knows your story, but they don't. Somebody could follow you today and message you or comment on something, and they really don't know anything about you. So that's like, I think one of the biggest takeaways is just like that personal connection is huge. Because I say it all the time, people are going to join you because they like you and they trust you and they want to be like you. So that's what you need to show on social media.
And you have to like think about you, like, what is you? Because you can't try to be someone else. Like, that's where you do have to be careful with who you go and follow, because I'm guilty of that too. Like, I will go like follow top coaches and then be like, oh my gosh, I need to be like that. You really just need to get in touch with who you are. So if you're struggling with that, if you don't really know who you are, then personal development and sitting down and doing some exercises to write about yourself. One really helpful thing that I meant to mention is when you're thinking about your person, we did this with Ashley Shaw, but you need to like get a piece of paper out and be like, okay, what is my ideal coach? What is my ideal challenger? What is her name? How many kids does she have? How old is she? Is she married? Is she, does she love dogs? Is she like a pet person? Is she crafty? Is she, you know, like a girl mom or a boy mom? What kind of car does she drive? Like, you want to know everything about that person, and then you want all your posts to write to that person. And that is what I have started attracting. I have been attracting like 28 to 30-year-old moms that have just had a baby, because that is what my posts are about. And I also like have never mentioned, like literally yesterday when I posted about the test group, I put Beachbody, or I didn't put Beachbody, but I talked about Insanity and Shanti. And I have never since day one ever put anything about Beachbody in anything I've ever written. And I take pride in that, because I've had people say, I had no idea what you did for the longest time, because you never talk about it. You never sell it. And so, let that be, some wisdom to you guys. Like, you're sharing yourself. You're not selling something. You're selling you. So it really is about you. But that's pretty much all.
That's awesome. Thanks, Camille. Does anybody have any other questions? Going once, going twice. Okay. Thank you, Camille. That was awesome. Very, very good. Okay. Well, good night, everybody.
Hi.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.